Welcome to TJ's podcast.
Hey, it is that time for casual conversation about the truly important things going on in our culture. That's a pretty good definition or explanation of what TJ's podcast is all about. Now, I want to start stuff today. I don't want to start. I am going to start things today with some celebrity stuff. Now, this is not your typical we make fun of celebrities thing. I was going to wait and talk about this on TJ and Jody's House podcast because it kind of revolved around that, but we had some issues with my home recording equipment and everything, and so that's going to have to come later in the week. So I want to go ahead and get this out there. David Spade is one of the few celebrities that I actually do like. And we went to see David Spade in his stand-up show at a place called Ovens Auditorium in Charlotte, North Carolina, where we live, Saturday night. And it was my wife, Jody, my little friend Jenny, and her handsome husband, Michael, and I all went to see the show. And while we were there waiting to go in, I made a little video and posted it, and I talked about being at the David Spade show, and I tagged him in it. Well, he reposted that in his story, which was cool. You know, Riggins, along the whole thing, and he was like, "This is awesome." And I was like, "Yeah, it's cool." Because I mean, I said in the video, and I meant it, that David Spade is not just my favorite comedian, he's probably my favorite celebrity in general, because he seems laid back and cool, and he's not always running around, throwing liberalism up in everybody's face and all that. And he probably is a liberal, I don't know, but he doesn't do all that, so he's cool. Well, during his show, it was great. But I kept thinking about that. That was really cool that David Spade retweeted my video, and that he had actually, and I don't know whether he has people that do this or not. I don't think, maybe, because the way he runs his Instagram and all, it's just him, he does a lot of things where he's just being funny on there. And then the next day I looked at my phone and there was a comment from somebody else about, I was thinking that you should have your own podcast or something like that. And I looked, and it was his mom, David Spade's mom, or so I thought. So I said, immediately, "Riggins, did David Spade's mom comment on that video that I did?" And you said, "It looks like it." Right, she's only got about 10 pictures up there on her Instagram, and they're all of David Spade and her and his brother, I guess.
Like very personal, kind of like backyard pictures. It looked like. So I was like, I think so. It's hard to tell, but I think so.
Mm-hmm. So, did she mean, I like your video, you were funny or something? You shouldn't get, and then, but she was commenting on the TJ Show's account.
Yeah.
So then it was like she saw, well, he does have a podcast, whatever. Right. So
she saw the story,
mm-hmm.
and then I had went in and tagged you in the, the TJ Shows, which has like small town adventure stuff, your cooking show, all that stuff over there, and I think that's how she found the link to it.
So while I'm flattered by that, I also feel like that. I don't know, like I missed an opportunity, because I do have a podcast and all that, but it's not big time like David Spade kind of podcast. So she's like, "Oh, he's already got that, move along." Whereas if I hadn't have had a podcast, she might have said, "Let me get you in touch with David's people and y'all, let him work up something with you. He can introduce you to the big, movers and shakers in the podcast world." Because he has that podcast with Dana Carvey that's really popular.
He does a lot of podcasts as a guest and stuff, and he's good on that.
So then that's what my next thing was going to be, Riggins. You're reading my damn mind. How hard would it be to get David Spade on for an interview, considering that, and I know we've been through this since day one of TJ's podcast, none of us knows how to get celebrities on for interviews and all. But he would be the perfect celebrity, you know, because I actually like him.
Well, he saw your first video, so just do it. You know, if it ain't broke, don't fix. Do it. Post a video on your story. Say, hey, I'd love to have you. Your mom even comment. Your mom even thinks.
But I don't want to be that, you know, like a douchebag kind of. You know, I'm the worst at that. At promoting myself and asking for things.
You got to be a little shameless, if that, you know. But do it in a fun way that lets them know you're not like some corny freak podcast.
Yeah. Well, surely he would know that, right? If he saw that he's my favorite comedian and celebrity. Yeah. That's the way I am. If somebody comes up to me and tell me about how much they love, you know, the stuff that I do, I automatically think they're intelligent right away. You know, I'm like, well, obviously this person's smart. They get it.
Yeah.
If you get me, you get it. Oh my God, that's a good T-shirt.
If you get me, you get it. Yeah, just do another story. Hey, David, I saw your show last night. It was amazing.
I already did that one. I did. We're leaving the David Spade show. It was great. Although it took us forever to get an Uber. I don't know. But I do want to use the your mama card on him. Like your mama thought I was really cool.
Yeah.
So you ought to put me on something.
Yeah. And she even went back through, like, it wasn't like the most recent video that she commented on, so it looked like she had been going through the profile.
Oh, really?
Went back a couple of weeks or a couple of days.
Huh. Which video did she comment on? On which did she comment?
You were talking about how busy you were and.
Oh yeah.
Spotify's calling. And,
oh no! See, now she really thinks I don't need it. Yeah. I don't need any help because I was being stupid and sarcastic, saying that I had Netflix asking me for stuff and Spotify, and oh my God,
maybe.
Oh,
she's like, oh, he's a big, serious deal.
I was gonna get Davey to help him, but it doesn't look like he needs it. He's got Netflix and Spotify and all these other. God, but I do need Davey to help me. Help me, Davey. Because I mean, I bet you'd be like, "Hey, Davey, this guy seems so nice and he was funny, and you should like give him a podcast.
Yeah,
put him in touch with your podcast network people.
Yeah, he should be in Grown Ups 4. Yeah. Like all of it. Like let's get him."
Meanwhile, she's looking and going, "Oh, this guy's on the rise.
Yeah,
he doesn't need Davey's help.
Of course."
Oh my God.
I didn't put that together until just now, but that's funny. Because like
so now I just go to him and go, "Hey, forget what your mama said. I need your help."
Yeah, because you know the caption I put Spotify, Netflix, everybody's reaching out to him. Your boy TJ is booked and busy. There's not a minute in the day that this guy isn't handling Hollywood deals.
You think Taylor Swift's got some stuff going on. You don't even know.
Please. That's classic.
So now I want to reach out to her more than him.
Yeah.
Say, hey, forget all that. Say, hey, her name's not Spade. She's married. Has been remarried. Because, I mean, see, that's even the thing. I've read his books. I know about all that stuff. Say, hey, Miss Davy.
You got it all wrong.
Yeah. I'm a nobody. I'm the biggest effing nobody that you've ever seen. I don't even have to meet Davey. Just introduce me to the people that run his podcast business and stuff.
Yeah.
Hell. I know he's busy. He's on the road.
Yeah.
I don't even need to meet him.
That's so funny.
God. Netflix bothering me. Spotify's on hold. Won't know where their stuff is. Fanatico's going crazy.
Yeah.
All my fans.
Yeah, but I think you should do that. Just do a story and just invite them, but do it, in a cool way. Not like a super creative way, but just like be kind and He would totally see. He'll remember you.
But her comment's still up because somebody said that they saw it and then they went back to read it again and it was gone.
No, I commented underneath it.
Oh. Yeah, I know you said thanks for the kind words. It's
still up there.
Okay. And what did it say exactly?
I'm watching you.
Let's decipher it to death.
Okay.
What did she say?
I am watching you.
Uh-huh.
I saw you make a comment on David Spade's show.
Yeah.
And I thought I'd like to see you have your own podcast. So I'm out there. I mean, she's an older woman, so it.
And it doesn't it look like that's his mom though?
Yeah.
Because she said one of the pictures said I'm here with my sons.
Yeah.
And it's Davy and.
Yeah. The only anybody they could take the pictures and just be that would be a weird thing to scam. Like I'm going to pose as David Spade's mother and try to get something. I highly doubt that's the case.
Well, what's his mama's name?
Judy.
That's the name on that account, but is that his mama's name?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, everything checks out.
Come on, Miss Judy.
Miss Judy, help me out.
I ain't got no damn body. I'm alone in this world. You could be the mama I never had. No, I got a mama. I'm just kidding.
My 3 sons, the Spade boys, in one place at one time. Not easy, but it makes me happy.
Yeah, I need to be the 4th. No, I'm kidding. I just, it's just so rare that there are any celebrities that I like,
Yeah, that's true.
Because they're all full of crap. And I don't think he'd be sweet.
No, he does. He's not a sweet person. That's not the word I would use.
No. I bet he'd be cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because, were you working with us when we saw him in L.A. that time we were there for that convention? It was a morning radio convention in L.A. And he was just in a booth with a bunch of people, none of them celebrities, sweating his ass off because it was hot in there. I think the air conditioner was broken or something. But he was just hanging out with all them, and I don't know if any of the cheesy DJs stopped him and tried to talk to him or anything. I didn't, because I'm not that type.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that the hockey jersey wearing cargo short guys were stopping him, trying to be funny to him. And
probably. He probably if you're in a place, was it kind of a hang, kind of a scene place?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of got to expect. It's like when we saw Larry King at like that, that deli thing. It's like loaded with tourists and stuff. You want to be noticed and seen and met if you go to a place like that.
It wasn't that Larry King went into that place by himself and sat down at a table alone, didn't he?
No.
Wasn't he all by himself?
The place was packed out.
No. I mean, he didn't come in with an entourage or anything like that.
I think he came with a manager or somebody.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought he was at the table by himself. But anyway, David Spade was in a booth that's up against the wall and facing out, like one of those half booth things.
Yeah.
And he was at the very back of it, just kind of. It wasn't like he was just standing out going, "Hey, come talk to me," or whatever. He was kind of being chill about it. So, but you're in L.A. I mean, everybody's around doing that kind of thing. Yeah. But I just know he looked hot. He was sweating.
It was hot.
He was sweating his ass off up in there. So was I. I'm just ready to get out of there. All right. So, what do I need to do? Make it. But I don't want to be that David Spade. Because
don't do it like that. Don't be. But you wouldn't do that anyway.
No. But that is, the more I'm thinking about what his mama's comment was, and then you tell me that it was on that other video, then I think I just missed my opportunity to really, jump on a rocket ship to, podcast success.
Maybe, but maybe not.
Because again, I'm not saying I want David Spade to just make me his buddy and then, all that. If he just introduced me to his podcast people, that's all I need. Maybe his mama could do it. Wouldn't even have to bother him.
Maybe.
Yeah. I know he loves that for fans to start talking about getting close with his mom.
Yeah.
That's not creepy, is it?
A lot of celebrity parents interact with the fans online. Like Ariana Grande's mom, you always see her in the comments. Justin Bieber's mom.
Is she hot? Way. Is Ariana Grande's mom hot? No.
She's pretty.
So what about Bieber's mom? She's not much older than Bieber, though.
No, she was young.
Yeah.
She in the early days, she was in all the comment sections, which is probably helpful. The fans feel seen. They feel like they have now kind of a connection.
Plus, in the early days, she was having to be his protector. I mean, he was little. All right. Well, we're gonna keep you updated on that as we go, and what that means is probably it dies right here. From our track record, my track record of things. We have a Hey TJ question. So I will be saving someone's emotional life coming up next.
TJ's podcast.
We're here with our old friend, Richard Toccato, the Richard Toccato Companies. Now, Richard, you just told me something very important that you wanted me to say. But I don't remember what it was, so can you say it for me? It was something about numbers and percentages and things that I don't understand.
This is the best way for loan officers to keep the majority of the revenue that they earn every year, just like a real estate agent.
Got it.
Real estate agents pay what we call a cap in industry. Normally, it's around $16,000 to $20,000, and then after they pay in their commission to reach that for the company, they keep 100% of it. So we're going to do the same thing at Richard Toccato Companies. You as a loan officer are going to pay us a cap of $16,000, and everything else you keep, everything else you earn is yours. So real quick, an example, if you make $200,000 in a year, I'm going to take $16,000 of it, and then you're going to keep $184,000. The traditional model that loan officers work on now, they do $200,000 in revenue, and they keep about $80,000 or $100,000.
Really?
So this is going to change the game. We're going to do what other real estate firms have been doing for years, but we're doing it on the mortgage broker side.
And this is something that's not being done anywhere. It's totally different.
Totally different, not being done anywhere else. We're also going to have revenue share. So if you bring loan officers to us, you're going to make money off, you're going to make money from a downline, just like EXP or Keller Williams.
Wow.
So it's you got to check it out. Just go to workwithrichard.info. It's simple, workwithrichard.info. See if it's for you. Give me a call. Let's have a conversation.
Okay. You want me to try to say it?
Yeah, you say it.
Check it out, workwithrichard.info.
Hi, I'm Thomas Davis, and let me tell you why I'm a proud member of Team Neogenics.
If your nagging pain is keeping you from being active, do something about it. Join the long list of pros and average Joes who have found relief with our stem cell and regenerative therapies.
After trying all the others, I decided to try Neogenics. My knees and shoulders haven't felt this good since my college days. If you want to get back in the game, do what I did. Visit Neogenics, where all you have to lose is pain.
Our nation's second president, John Adams, always slept on the left side of the bed. He believed this would increase his chances of having positive dreams and a more successful next day. That's why every mattress we sell here at Sweet Dreams Furniture and Mattress includes a left side.
And for those that prefer waking up on the right side of the bed, our mattresses come with one of those too.
This President's Day, you can save up to $500 on Tempur-Pedic sets. Only at Sweet Dreams Furniture and Mattress.
Back to TJ's podcast.
If you're watching us on the videos of YouTube's and the Ace and TJ family app, then you see that I'm now wearing my old man reading glasses. So crap's about to get serious. It's about to get serious. But first, do I need to do anything about this thing that I'm supposedly doing tonight on the social medias, Riggins, the TJ Fanatico's experience and all of that, or is that pretty much set? Do you know I need to be promoting that?
If you'd like to join, we're going to post the link here shortly. You can join TJ's Fanatico experience, and you're going to be playing a special game.
Sweet.
Yeah.
With big prize coming from the Ace and TJ Stowe.
It's going to be awesome.
Right out the Stowe.
Yeah. And you're going to be joined by our friend from Calitrin.
Yeah. Not only is she, her name's Elizabeth, not only is she really cool, and I don't know if she would mind if I called her a cool chick. And she doesn't seem like the type that would be too sensitive about that, but she's cool and she's funny and pretty all at the same time.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Riggins loves her.
You know, she pops up on my feed all the time because I think she bought an Instagram ad for Calitrin.
Yeah.
And she's the face of the ad.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Good move.
Yeah, it's really smart.
All right, so this is the time called Hey TJ, when somebody has written in because they need help with their life and they know that I'm the one to save their emotional lives because I'm the society's number one. I'm actually the world's number one societal profiler. Everybody knows that. So I will read at it now. 3, 2. Hey, TJ, my wife has made a new friend at work. This new friend is several years younger than my wife and me. She's single and has no kids. I've met her and she seems pretty nice. My wife thinks this girl is the coolest person to ever walk the face of the earth. All I hear from her is, Hannah says this and Hannah says that. Hannah says we need to stop letting our kids eat fast food ever. Hannah says I should go with her to her butt workout class Saturday, blah, blah, blah. She's even started to talk like Hannah. Friday night, she said to me, that place Hannah and I had lunch today was a vibe. I laughed and called her out on it, and she got mad. She said, you're just trying to be like TJ, and it's pissing me the F off. I doubled down and said, no, because TJ would have already told you to stop saying literally so damn much. Ooh, so she must be doing that now, too. My wife is definitely not a TJ fanatico. What would you do? Well, this is what I always talk about, and people get mad, is that married people don't need to be socially active with single people. It's a recipe for disaster. It's two different types of culture. Single person culture, no matter the age, is different than married people culture. So married people have no business hanging out with and being buddies with single people. And doing because what are you each doing? Married people are doing married activities. Single people are doing what single people do. And you know what single people do? They spend a lot of their day trying to figure out how to hook up with somebody and not be single anymore. Plus, I mean, and this is not going to get through to her, obviously, because she doesn't like the things that I say, or, she's probably very sensitive, probably a feminist type, which I don't know how you do that. The fellow's name's Dan. I don't know how you do that to begin with, Dan. Like, I don't know how much respect a guy could have for his wife if she doesn't like me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There you go. If he likes me and she doesn't, then you'd be like, oh, who did I marry? We have nothing in common. I mean, that would be a deal breaker for me. If I married somebody and she didn't like me, I'd break up with her. I'd get a divorce.
I wonder if that's the first time she's ever done something like that.
Sounds like he's just like, all of a sudden she's, following after this young girl.
Yeah, like which says it's not part of her personality to do so. I would almost look at the influencer as the problem. Like whatever control you have over the one I love.
Yeah. But I make jokes about my wife using out of date type slang. I would much rather that than my wife running around, talking like a Gen Z person.
Yeah, for sure.
At her age.
Absolutely.
Like if I heard my wife say something was a vibe, I might just vomit with my knees locked. Just like straight up, just not even have time to bend over or move.
Yeah, that's the way it should be.
Whew. Now, I don't know how old, I'm guessing this couple is not as old as my wife and I are, but still, you're old enough to be married and have kids. If you're married and you have kids, you should not be saying anything about vibes, no matter how old you are. If you're married and you have kids, vibes should not be part of your vocabulary. Nothing about the universe, unless you're saying, look, the stars in the universe are the universe isn't causing anything happening for you. If you're married and have kids, that should be out.
That's tough. Even if you look on Yelp at like a restaurant review, it's like you can select reviews by category. So it's like reviews about the menu, reviews about parking. They even have like a section that's vibes. You always click on, you're like, who's talking about the vibes? But so many.
It's like everybody referring to whatever meat as a protein.
Yeah.
I'll have whatever for my protein. No. Married people with kids don't need to be talking that way. It's just not right. It's a breakdown of our culture.
No matter the age, just when you have kids.
Married and have kids, the language should mature. But you think about it though. So, Riggins, you're single. You and I are close. We've been close ever since you were a college boy. Pretty smooth skin coming in here and long hair. And we're friends. But as an adult single guy, and I'm married and, even though my kids are grown and I don't have any little kids at home that have to be taken care of, can you see, would it even be right for you and me to be hanging out all the time?
No.
If you're just like a normal single guy and you're dating and you're doing all these other things, it wouldn't even be.
No.
It wouldn't be normal.
No, it's not normal.
Doesn't mean that we're not close or that I don't like you or that I don't respect you or anything like that. But we're just, it's two different cultures.
Yeah. Can you be friends? I mean, I think, is there different kinds of friends? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I got a friend at the grocery store that I see whenever I go there. They're an employee of that place.
Yeah.
I would consider them a friend, even though it's not, maybe not.
Yeah, I mean, I think a friend is somebody
numbers and
things about their character and their history and their family and their lives in general.
But what do you do once you get married and do you just abandon your
single friends?
Yeah.
Yes.
You do.
Yeah. Because they're not worth anything if they're not married.
That's good to know.
No, I'm kidding. But you don't abandon them, but you do things with your single friends as couples. Like let's say you get married, Riggins, and you and your wife don't have kids or anything. Y'all are young and married, and she still wants to go out on Friday and Saturday nights with her girlfriends who are all still single, and they're going to go out dancing or they're going to go that's nothing but a recipe for disaster, because she's still living that single life while she's married. And it's a reason why it's called a single life and married life. They're two completely different things. And it doesn't mean that you have to just curl up at home and be a recluse after you get married and there's no fun. There's still fun to be had. It's just a different type of fun. And if you don't want that type of fun, then don't get married. But especially don't be a mother and wife and then all of a sudden come in using the term five and saying everything is literally and then don't get me wrong, I'm not, when I criticize the over use of the term literally, I don't mean when people say literally and it doesn't mean literally, like saying I am literally starving to death. I'm not talking about that. That's wrong too. I'm talking about this pattern of using the term literally in front of things that are obvious. Like, so I'm literally driving down the road and this guy pulls out in front of me. Okay, there's no need to say literally because you actually you're driving. You don't need to point out that you're not, just making it up, that you're exaggerating or anything. For example, I literally read this guy's message and his problem to you. No need for literally.
Yeah.
And there's no need for an adult wife and mother to be talking that way. So it says, what would I do? I wouldn't let it go a day farther without fixing it. This is going to take some serious, what I think should be deprogramming.
So therapy? What are you saying?
No. Just you've got to make the young friend, an enemy. You gotta demonize her to your wife, so your wife doesn't think she's cool. That's what you got to do. Somehow.
You don't.
She's got to make the decision on her own, and you got to make her think that it was her decision.
Would you go as far as lying about the person if that's what it takes to get her on track?
See, I wouldn't have to. I would be so observant to the person and all that.
Right,
I'd be able to pick out the things. But yeah, if you need to lie, it's fine. You got to save your marriage. And obviously, this guy does not want to be married to somebody who uses the term vibe and vibes in that way.
I would find it more annoying that she's got that response to everything. Well, she says do it this way. That would drive me crazy.
Mm-hmm. Again, you got to look at it in another way that I look at things is that, a young person's not going to teach me anything. So you got somebody running around making every move now according to what somebody way younger than she is says. And that's not the way the Lord wants it.
The Lord doesn't want that?
Mm-mm. I mean, I'm not exactly sure where it is. I'd have to look it up. But in the Bible it says that don't be doing what young people say. But I wonder when the last time this woman has thought that her husband did or said something that was worth following.
Yeah, I agree. When you hear that all the time, she says it. Yeah, that would be the natural next step. I'd go, she doesn't say that about me.
Mm-hmm.
In front of her friends or in front of our friends. Like, he just showed me the best, coolest new thing, and this is.
Yeah.
That would piss me off.
I mean, she obviously even mocks him for his devotion to me.
Yeah.
And my teachings.
You are a Christ-like figure.
Let's replace Hannah said with TJ said. You'd be a whole lot better off all the way around. As a mother, father, and husband and wife.
Christian.
Mm-hmm. I think this Hannah's nothing but trash. I can tell. What exactly is a butt workout? She's trying to get her to go do that on Saturday mornings. I bet that's some sort of sexual thing.
It's gotta be.
I bet you none of my friends would ever ask me to go do any kind of butt thing on Saturday morning. Go to my butt workout class. Huh.
Certainly none of your married friends. Maybe your single freaky friends might.
All right, so there's the answer. What would I do? I would make Hannah out to be the dumbest, most idiotic, terrible person ever, so your wife would stop wanting to follow her teachings.
She's the Dalai Lama. Well, yeah, I mean.
Well, she's telling her all this stuff. Hannah says this and Hannah says that, and Hannah's already taught her, how to say something was a vibe.
Yeah, this is starting to sound like a cult. The cult of Hannah.
I know. That's right. And then there's always the threat of taking the kids,
Yeah.
You can use that if you need to get heavy-handed.
I'm taking these kids. I'm taking these babies. You have been...
I don't even know who you are. I literally don't know who you are. Coming in here like that.
I don't know who I'm looking at.
All right, so there you go. I saved his emotional life. And I heard something that's kind of scandalous that evidently a lot of people know about that I didn't know about. So I'm going to find out if Riggins has heard of this, how it works. If not, we're going to do some investigating. Oh, and you want to be around for this investigation. Coming up next.
More of TJ's podcast is coming up.
When it comes to losing weight, sometimes you don't even know where to start. You know that it needs to happen, but you need some help. Well, you start by going to acetj.com/weight loss and ordering Calitrin. Calitrin is scientifically proven to help you lose weight, and it is not a drug. It is not a drug. Repeat that. So here's what you do. You go to acetj.com/Calitrin, order 3 months, and then you'll get 3 months free. 4 months, 4 months free. That's how it works with Calitrin.
Winter is here, which means you're just going to stay inside and not do anything fun and exciting, right? No, that is wrong, because this year you're going to go to acetj.com/Gaston and see all of the incredible things that you can do right now in Gaston County. Everything is laid out for you, from things to do, to restaurants, to bars, to shopping, to unique weekend activities. And we'll get you ready for the spring and the summer with a list of all their great festivals. Find all of this and much more at acetj.com/Gaston.
If you're so frustrated because you're having to run around all the time, you're so busy, you feel like you're not getting your family something great to eat, then you need Culver's. It's the perfect thing for you. Always made to order, fresh, hot ingredients all day, every day.
And not only do they have the freshest ingredients all day, every day, but they are a part of the community. They're proud to be a part of the Indian Trail community, where they're under new ownership. Belmont, University area, Salisbury. Make them a part of your daily routine. Make it your new neighborhood spot. Short waits for the freshest food in town. Get details at acetj.com/Culver's.
Welcome back, world, to TJ's podcast.
Hey, Fanaticos. Look. Oh, wait, by the way, did I tell you that that my little friend Jenny, who at this point I would say is like has become almost like an annoying little sister to me or something,
Yeah, I've always got that vibes from you guys.
Yeah, it's a vibe.
Oh, yeah, right after all that. That's a fair use of the word vibe, though, right?
Yeah, but other people have ruined it. Yeah. She won't even say fanatico. She said, that sounds stupid.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I said, well, it's not a serious thing. It's meant to be like a funny word. And I mean, it's a serious thing, in Spanish speaking cultures. But I mean, for the purposes in which I'm using, it's not, it's just tongue in cheek kind of, I don't know. It sounds stupid.
Yeah.
So
I always think, she's cool. Jenny's real cool. And, I always think like her worst scenario would be at a Mexican restaurant and it's her birthday and they try to put that sombrero on.
Yeah.
Like I just got a feeling she would stand up and like.
Mm-hmm. She'd storm out and probably turn the table over and all things. Just like if you try to drag her onto the dance floor for something.
Yeah.
Like you try to drag her out there for the bunny hop or one of those old that goes around the room and stuff. Yeah, that wouldn't do. But I am not Mr. Keep Up with, social media, every aspect of social media and how this works and this app, if you want to do this kind of thing. Or as a matter of fact, Riggins was telling me the other day about editing videos that I use on my phone, and that, because I was saying, how do you get that yellow thing? I can't ever grab that to trim up the front of the video or whatever. It's always. And he's like, you need a better app for editing and, so forth. So I never know about all this stuff. But I heard that there is some sort of a website or something where if you suspect that your husband or boyfriend is messing around on you, that you can post a picture of him on this site and ask if anybody else is dating this guy, if he's running around with them, like are we dating the same guy?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
There, it is, and it's in a variety of different places. There may be dedicated apps for these kind of things, but it also just happens on the internet.
It's a website?
There are websites that do it, yeah.
Now, is it broken down into areas?
Yeah.
Like is anybody in Orlando are we dating the same guy in Orlando?
Yeah, it could.
Huh.
And also after the fact, leaving reviews on people you've hooked up with and dated and stuff like that. It just seems so wrong, but
is it always for women and talk about men?
of course.
Okay. So that'd be a kick in the head, wouldn't it?
Are you kidding me?
Say you got a girlfriend, she posts a picture of you and says, are we dating the same guy in Charlotte? And somebody says, wait, is his name Riggins? Yeah, I'm dating him. You think in that scenario you lose both of them, or will one of them be okay with it and say, all right, as long as you're not going to see that one again?
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't think so. I mean,
and then how soon would you have to do that? You know what I mean? If you start dating a guy, say you've been out 3 times, but you want to make sure that he's not just like Mr., go out with everybody. You post his information on that thing and somebody says, yeah, we went out a couple of weeks ago. So does that count? Because you're not, wouldn't be exclusive yet, or have had the conversation that you're exclusive. Do they do that kind of thing? Or is it somebody that they're committed to that they think, okay, maybe he's running around?
You rarely see that where they're in a long-term committed relationships. It's usually guys you just start dating, new relationships. Because the world doesn't see it like you guys always say, like, if you're not married, you're single.
Yeah.
People, I don't know. That does not seem to be the majority opinion of most people.
Yeah, because people, change the definitions of words to suit whatever it is that they want, which it's always a pet peeve of mine. But there's a difference. I mean, I'm not saying that you have to be married to be unavailable. I'm just saying that if you're not married, by definition, you are single. Now, you may be single and unavailable because you're committed to somebody, but if y'all aren't married, then you're single. Because you fill out government papers, there's not a box for dating. There's married, single, whatever. There's not a married, single, and then another one that says not married but not single because I'm dating somebody.
Yeah, but you've taken all the human aspect out of it, the feelings and the...
No, I'm looking at it from the strict definition of the word.
Exactly. You've taken all
but that doesn't mean it's not taking the humanity out of, the human element out of it.
You're putting people on like a census kind of thing. And if somebody's single, that doesn't necessarily mean that they should be dating as many people as possible.
But what kind of society do we have if words don't mean things?
Well,
but that's what I'm saying. You can be when you had that serious girlfriend, Riggins, a few years ago, you were single, but unavailable. Because you were committed to somebody. You can be committed, but without being married. But if somebody asked you if you were single, you would say, no, I'm dating somebody, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Say that's not right because single has a definition in our society, then that's taking the human element out of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I love my dog.
Yeah.
I love my parents. It's not the same thing. Single, it might, on paper, it means you are currently unmarried. Mm-hmm. You're not bound together by the church or a law, the government.
Yeah.
But, it can be open to interpretation, don't you think?
No. Rarely do I think things can be open to interpretation.
You're not kidding.
I'm more of a literal person.
You are.
Rob, are you single? Yeah. See, he's shacked up with somebody. He said he's single. But that also means he's ready to get out there. When he drops those LBs, he's going to be ready to dance.
Still on the energy drinks. Just.
So anyway, what were we talking about even?
I don't remember.
Oh, that website.
Oh yeah.
Are we dating the same guy?
And if you have to resort to those kind of things, it's probably not the guy for you. If you're worried, I mean, you know.
So when do you say, that's what it was, when do you say that somebody should test that? Like how many dates into a relationship do you consider that it should be exclusive?
Whenever, that's up to you. I mean, if you go out on 2 dates and you're like, I want to see this person every day, and like you're doing all that, I have an expectation that you're not going to be dating around and dating other people. Maybe, and it's probably different for everybody. But to me, if we're spending a lot of time together, maybe 3 times a week, 2-3 times a week, I have an expectation that you're not going to be dating anybody else.
Okay. But that happens without conversation.
Sometimes.
Without having a conversation about, okay, so we're not seeing other people, right?
Yeah. And if that's not cool, that's, you know what? God bless you. Like, this is not for me.
But if I've been out with a girl, say it's been 2 weeks, and we've been all about each other, talking and all of that, and have spent, almost every day seeing each other for lunch or, whatever. And I find out she put my picture up on something and says, are we dating the same guy? Then I'm going to think she's a psycho. Yeah. If it's just been a short time and she feels like she's got to go check behind, like, okay, if nobody else is dating him, I'm about to plant my flag in him, then I'll be like, we haven't even talked about being exclusive or having a future or any of that kind of stuff. We were just dating. We're still in that process. And then I'm on some website. You got my information up on some website asking if I'm a dog. Yeah,
but your attitude lends itself to that kind of behavior. By you saying single means you're single, then of course she's going to be insecure and go, oh, even though we've spent 2-3 weeks together almost every day, he's still single and he might be dating other people. It makes her paranoid. It makes her feel insecure and not worth your time.
Right.
And it might lead her to do things which to us sound crazy, but.
All right. Well, then that tells me then that's the right move, because if I'm dating somebody and I'm really liking her and she can't understand what definitions are for words, then I don't need to be with her anyway, because I don't want my kids being exposed to that later on in life. Somebody that can't define words and accept definitions. I'll be like, okay. I'll be a lonely ass, scraggly haired old man drinking, at the tiki bar in Myrtle Beach.
You can be that anyway. It doesn't sound too bad.
Right. I mean, my wife and I fell for each other fast.
Yeah.
And I knew she was the one after a short period of time. The one for what? I don't know. But I was just like, she was the one. But if we're just dating each other and we're not married and she has a problem, if somebody asks me if I'm single and I say, yeah, I'm single, but I'm dating someone, I'm committed, or back then I'm going with somebody, or I'd even say I'm single, but I'm engaged. Well, and then she had a problem with my saying that I'm single because she couldn't decipher between what the one definition is over the other. Then I would break it off. I'd be like, you getting mad about this? This facts don't have feelings. The fact is that if you're single, you're not married.
Single, but see, you keep adding those qualifiers on it.
Right, because you're letting people know I'm spoken for, but I'm not married yet, so I'm still single. See, I don't look at automatically saying you're single as being, I'm out here humping everybody. I'm ready to date anybody that comes along. As long as I don't have a ring on my finger, I'm available. That's not the way I'm using the term. I'm using the term as I'm not married, but I am committed to someone. I'm unavailable.
So you got to say that.
Yeah. Because I would rather have to say something extra than to be wrong. To me using a term incorrectly. Because if I ask somebody, are you single? And they say, no. And then I go, how long have you been married? Oh, well, I'm not married. I just have a boyfriend. I mean, like, then you're not single.
Yeah, right. You're not single.
I mean, you're not married. You are single, but you're unavailable.
Yeah.
You're unavailable.
Yeah, well, you'd have to ask that question. Are you single but dating somebody? You're kind of trying to trap them if you go, are you single? And then they're like,
No.
yeah, you are.
I'm not trapping. I'm using the word that has been defined as being not married since the beginning of our time. Nobody until, a couple of clicks ago thought that being single had the same definition if you're not married. You know what I mean? Like it was either single or married up until 5 minutes ago. And then the definition gets changed. And I think, and this is where I'm really going to piss some people off, and we're almost out of time for today, but I think with the transition in our culture of fewer and fewer people getting married, that's when the term single started getting used in a different way, because you not being married but living as a married couple or shacked up or whatever, you wanted to seem like it's a better deal than what it is. You know, I'm not single, but we live like a married couple. We're together, and because there are fewer and fewer people who are getting married, so they changed the definition of the term single, just to make their situation seem better. I mean, I could say, I'm not an NFL player, but I watch all the games. So technically I'm in the NFL. I'm a scout for the NFL because I watch all the games. So I don't get paid by the NFL, but I am a scout. Might as well if we're just going to make up terms.
No.
And change definitions.
Well. I just think, never mind.
No, what?
If you need that qualifier on it, then that means that you need more information out of it. Sometimes it's not black and white, especially in relationships. It's not you're single or you're married. I'm single but taken. If it requires that added little bit to get more clarity on it, then maybe it's not a great
but it doesn't
defined word in the first place.
But it really doesn't until and it never did have any big deal about it until people started changing the definition of it.
Yeah, because people were getting diphtheria and died on the Oregon Trail. I mean, you might be single one day and married the next day.
But I'm talking about, this didn't start happening until probably into the 2000s when people started saying, no, I'm not single, I'm dating somebody. That, I remember.
The 2000s?
Yeah.
Okay. I believe you.
Just like if somebody is separated. Say, are you married? Well, I'm separated. Okay, well that means something. It means you're still married to the person, but you're not together and you're working toward not being married anymore. Right?
Yeah. So what should he say? Yeah, yes, I'm married.
But separated has the definition, right? So when you say, most people would just say, I'm separated. Well, okay, well, then you're not married. Well, technically I am married, whatever. Because all of those have been established. Being single has been established. It means you're not married.
It's the same thing.
No.
How is it not? How is it not? If separated,
but I'm just saying it comes with
dating.
No, it comes with the same. Well, yeah, technically I'm married, but I'm separated. It's the same as technically I'm single, but I have somebody and I don't date around. It's the same concept. It's just you said, why would you have to qualify one and not, like if you got to say I'm single, but then it changes everything. There are different stages of single. There's single and available, single, unavailable, single, engaged, single, just broke up. I mean, whatever. But
I'm
you're single
I'm
until you're married. Then you're not single.
I'm single and engaged. That's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
That's the definition.
Well,
It's the definition.
This is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I'm single but engaged.
Filling out a job application. Government papers. Say you're engaged, you're getting married in 4 months. You better not put married on that thing or you're lying. Put married on a tax form when you're not married and see what happens. They'll come get your ass.
Abolish the IRS.
And you'll say, oh, I'm all for that too, but I'm just saying,
No more
if you're not married and you check married, they come and find out, oh, and you say, I'm technically, I'm not married, but I'm engaged, so I'm not single. They say, your ass is single and you need to file as a single person. And you'd be like, but that's taking the human aspect out of my
Yeah,
relationship.
because you're dealing with the government. We're talking on a podcast.
Okay.
Or in person when somebody asks you,
know
when you're
what?
dating.
And you know what? That's just what, Riggins.
What is it?
That's it. Exactly.
That's it.
All right. Now we're late. Thanks to you.
Thanks to you.
Thanks to you. All right. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for putting up with Riggins' single ass.
Ever.
Bye.
Serving the world. It's TJ's podcast.